I'm Mark Stewart. I am back in the office tonight to give some commentary following this evening's debate down at Yale. It was put on well by the SSDS group at Yale and the Connecticut chapter of NORML. I wasn't an invited participant, but I want to comment about what we all heard. We heard a lot of generalities. I would like to give some specifics about what you would hear from me over the next 12 months as governor candidate and over the coming years if I ascend to the governor's chair. I am in this race. This is not exploratory. This is a commitment. And it's a commitment for a full 13 months. I started in October, and this goes beyond the Democrat convention. I'm seeking the Democrat nomination, but I will be on the ballot even if I don't get the nomination. I will have ballot access with a third party, sort of like Joe Lieberman did in 2006. So I'm in this till November, hopefully beyond. You will hear the following things. You will see what a forceful governor who is principled can do to improve this state. Let's start with principles. The principle of freedom. We didn't hear last night. We didn't. That is the override that every Connecticut citizen, every American should be committed to. And it is so trashed, traduced by our drug warriors. Drug warriors in the name of, I don't know what, some sort of public safety is sometimes the argument, but people who are on marijuana don't commit harm to other people. Safety to oneself, it's not even close. The kind of unsafe things, relatively, that people permit, I mean, alcohol for number one, cigarette, chaw, even driving cars, hang gliding, playing football, are far more dangerous to oneself than toking on the weekends. We didn't hear that last night, and I'll talk about that separately. Let me talk about the principle of freedom and how this governor would apply it. I would not imprison people for crimes that harm nobody else, okay? And I'm not given the pardon power. The governor is only given a reprieve power. Reprieve means staying a sentence. However, it starts earlier. The governor appoints people to the Board of Pardons. I will appoint good, principled people. The principle being, you are tough on real crime, especially when you see no element of restitution from the perpetrator. But you are open-minded and forgiving and hopeful of rehabilitation quickly to get people who've been incarcerated, I'm going to say wrongly, for years, that are wasting away in jail for no good reason. And here's why I say it's wrong. It's another principle, that our Constitution has been traduced, that federal authorities and sometimes state authorities with power that they may or may not have taken on the police power that is meant to be for localities. There is nothing in the U.S. Constitution that permits Congress to control banking laws that prohibit entrepreneurs of marijuana growth to stop banking their money there, okay? There's nothing in the Constitution that allows confiscation of property just because it might have been used in a drug transaction, and there's no authority to prohibit federally transactions of any kind. This is private commerce. The Constitution gives Congress no power to enforce. As for agencies and drug czars, there's no authority for that either. This was a bad thing that Ronald Reagan instilled, and if I had power at the federal level, I would remove the ONDCP. It's a local issue, and not even state. That means town by town by town. If a small enclave really thinks that marijuana use is so odious, so corrupting, I let them use their values their elected small government representatives to make laws. I will not use state power across the board. Thus, another authority you can expect me not to use, I will not be enforcing laws that put jail time on individuals for dealing to adults. I would enforce it against minors. And I would argue for the repeal of those laws. Early on in the legislative term, 2019, you can expect me to be there with hopefully a force of people like you behind me for responsible drug policy. In the meantime, no state patrolman will do a traffic stop for the sake of seeking out illegal substances. There might be other reasons, but you don't go search. It puts too many innocent people in conflict with people with guns. Until the laws are altered, if the federal government is trying to force some confiscation of a motel owner's property, a individual's car, I will protect them too. The governor has use of some state armed forces, and those who are willing to be with us and defend the freedom of everybody to do what they want, so long as they don't have anything else that's harmful, I will protect you. Now, here's one thing that I will keep within the realm of prosecutors, because prosecutors have a tough job marshaling evidence against criminals. And I would allow the existing or past laws that some perp has violated to be used to extract confessions to other crimes or to work up the criminal food chain to real wrongdoers, people who commit harm. Keep your nose clean, therefore, because just because I'm suspending ongoing laws doesn't mean you're out of the woods to do mayhem or steal or commit fraud against other people. Finally, I will not allow the state police forces to profit from the sale of confiscated property. The federal government does this. They pay a high commission, actually. We will not do this in Connecticut. Now, I support the police, and there are better ways for that. I would like to see more money going to local police primarily, somewhat to state troopers, but there are other straightforward ways of funding them. I'll be in front of those efforts. All right, I also believe in a little bit of fun, and you might have seen that Saturdays in the park, I will be installing starting the second Saturday in April 2019. Bushnell Park is a tremendous place. It is beside the state capitol. The whole downtown is within the radius of good music. I'll be inviting, I already have, some good performers from all walks of music starting April 13th, 2019. The next weekend, it's almost a holy trinity. On April 19th, it's Good Friday. It's also the start of Passover, where I will have a holy Seder in the governor's mansion. Sunday is Easter Sunday, and those concerts will continue with church-oriented, but very fun, because the music that's coming out from Christian radio is tremendous. You'll hear that emanating from Bushnell Park. And what about the in-between day? How about fish? And maybe an appearance from Bob Weir on that Saturday in the park. Incidentally, that Saturday is April 20th. I look forward to seeing you all there.